Hi there, my name is Tom Morgan and this is my unboxing and first look at the Ubiquiti FrontRow. Now, if you've looked at any of these before, these unboxing videos, then you'll know the rules, and we're playing by the standard rules again today, and that is that I haven't seen and unboxed this device before. It's still in the shrink wrap, so we are discovering this for the first time. I don't know what exactly is inside, but the purposes of these unboxings, they're not reviews. They're designed to show you what's in the box, what you get, and give you a chance to have a first look at it before you decide to buy for yourself. Now, you may know have heard of Ubiquiti for their Wi-Fi gear. You may have heard of them for their video cameras and their security surveillance system cameras and that stuff. They're well known for very good Wi-Fi, sort of enterprise class Wi-Fi, and this is a bit of a departure, I guess. This is very much a consumer-facing product, maybe a sort of prosumer, and it's aimed at those who do a lot of live streaming. And as far as I can tell, it's a wearable, live streamable camera. Or camera sort of system. I think there's two cameras. We'll dig into that as we open up. But it's an interesting place for Ubiquiti to be, because we've seen them take their enterprise Wi-Fi and we see that coming more and more into sort of prosumer places. I'm putting it into my house at the moment. I'm blogging about that and doing reviews as I go. The same thing is happening with their video camera systems. In fact, you can see one of their switches and video camera in the background. So there are some units I'm working on at the moment that I have some reviews coming soon for. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about today is this, which is the FrontRow. So it comes, as you can see, fairly compact box. There's some cool pictures on the sides. And it's time lapse, so up to 10 hours battery, a unique first person time lapse. And then down on the bottom here, there's some stuff around it being made for iPhone. That's good because I've got one of those, and some other bits and pieces. Alright, so let's open up. So this is shrink wrapped on here, so I might not need my knife actually. I might just be able to tear it off. Let's have a look. So the cellophane comes off. And so this is cardboard, and this is, I don't know if you can see this, it's divided into three little sections here, almost like with a little thing to pull. So it's nicely packaged, nice sort of that kind of aspirational high-end sort of packaging. So we've got the unit here, and it sort of opens out a little bit. So we've got a couple of different ways. I'm not really sure how it's supposed to open out, but let's do it like this. Right. So it opens out like so. So let's see what we've got going on. So this looks like, let's get out this way. I think that's probably how it's supposed to be. So in the middle we have what appears to be a very nicely presented USB cable. See if we can't get that out. And it's kind of cool. It's got a little hooky thing on the end. That's because it's a mini. And it goes, so this is nice, it's nice fabric, USB-C cable. So it's essentially a USB-C cable with an adapter on the end of it, but it's that nice sort of fabric style cable. And then in here I imagine we've got the device, although it's a bit of a pain to get into. So it's nicely sort of packaged. Oh, there's a little thing to pull. Here we go. So let's pull that, rip that off, and that means that this then opens, and this is some sort of holder, I guess. And this thing here has a thing that pulls out, and it says lanyard on it. You probably can't see that because it's embossed black on black, but indeed there is a lanyard. So I think you're meant to wear it around your neck. And then over here is another thing to pull out. It's a little bit like Christmas. or pass the parcel. And here is the device itself. Okay, so first impressions. This device is smaller and more compact than I thought it was going to be, and than it looks on the product shots. So for reference, this is my hand. Obviously, as you can see. Now, you don't know how big my hand is, but that's, you know, we can work around that. I'll try and find something to kind of hold it up against so you can see, but I would say it's, I don't know, maybe 5 centimeters across, if that. It's nice. It fits nicely in the hand, actually. It's almost like a small handheld watch. And it's black, it's metal. I think it's plasticky around the side, but it feels like metal and glass predominantly. It looks like there's a camera here at the front, big camera, and then a much smaller camera. This is the back because you've got the safety marking. So it looks like there's a small rear-facing camera there, and then a much bigger front-facing camera there, and there's a thing to hold down to power on. All right, so I'm going to stick that out of the way for a second, and let's get out the quick start guide and just see what all the documents that we get inside the packaging are. Because so we get these sort of things in the document pack, and this looks like a nice cleaning cloth, which is nice. Let's have a look at that, because I imagine this gets pretty grubby, or at least not grubby, but like fingerprinty. So we have a nice branded cleaning cloth, so I can keep it nice and clean. I think it maybe could be a little bigger. It's not. That's full size. So there we go. Get that all clean. And we have a nice sticker as well. That's always good. And then we have a couple more things here. We have this nice sort of card that comes in, and it looks like lots and lots of signatures. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't know who the signatures are. I'm hoping it's something cool like the people that worked on it, or something like that. But there's a nice message here saying that they set out to reinvent the camera, industrial design approach, connectivity to the internet and social networks, and living in the moment without the distraction of manual capturing. And that's really, I think, where this product is aimed at. It's aimed at kind of maybe prosumer video users, so people who like to live stream a lot. And that kind of is good for me because I go to lots of tech conferences and events, community events, and other things like that, where I think it would be good to live stream those things, but it's always too much of a hassle, always needs too much equipment. If I could just throw this in my bag, or even around my neck, I guess, I might have to think about the idea of that. I'm not sure how it would look. It's not as big as I thought it was going to be, actually, so it might be okay. But it'd be great just to be able to sling that in and use that as my method of live streaming. So there's a quick start guide here as well. Let's have a quick look. So this is, there's quite a lot of stuff in here actually. So there's a little bit about what's included. Really all the things I just went through. Turns out this is you can tell it's a magnetic clip because it's actually stuck to I've got a metal cover on the table, so it's stuck to it. So I guess that's that's surprisingly handy thinking about it, because that's a real likely use case, isn't it? That you want to stick this to the wall, sticks to some metal pole or something like that, and be able to use that, stick it on the wall, and have it live streaming that way. So that's really handy. I've yet to work out exactly how it works. This bit looks like it's mostly in the way, but maybe it moves out of the way and I can get that in. Maybe this bit comes off. I'm going to have to do some playing around. But that is that's good to know that there is a way of not having it around your neck all the time. So that's pretty cool. And there's some information here about the hardware. So okay, so this bit at the top is the chain adapter. So yes, I imagine this bit comes off, and in fact if I look closely enough, there's a bit here. So I don't know if you can see this because this camera won't zoom great, but there we go. There's a little push down bit here. So if I push down, that comes off. and then presumably that makes it much easier for this bit to clip in. So that then clips in, and then I have, that's my magnetic mount, and I can move this around. So I could either hang it over something, or I can clip it to the back of something, and get it exactly where I need it to. So that's cool, that's pretty neat. And that comes off nice and easily as well. And then I can pop this one back on, which is the one that goes round, presumably around the lanyard. So that's all very cool. Looking further down, we have a reverse camera we spoke about, a media button, power button, touchscreen, and home button. Okay. A couple of technical details. Oh, that's kind of cool. There's an LED on the front, so there's a blinking red LED when it's recording. So it's not entirely creepy, I guess. People know you're recording, and that's probably a good thing. Information on adjusting the lanyard, and then the installation process involves connecting it to your PC, pressing the power button, going through, and I wonder if you yeah, I don't think you actually have to connect it to a PC. I think it just needs power, right? Let's give that a go if we can now. So let's see. So I can plug the end of this, the cable they've included. I can just plug that into a power source, USB power source, and then let's try and work out where on this thing we need to plug it in. Oh, right in the bottom. I want to say this is probably my first USB-C device. I've been missing out, and I think that means it doesn't matter which way I plug it in. So let's test that theory out. Okay, so I plugged it in, and the back has lit up with the logo. I don't think the front has, but the back has lit up with the logo, so I guess the screen is on the back. Just take that off. And you can see it's popped up with a charging, so it's already fully charged, which is pretty cool. So that's good to know. And to start, what I'm supposed to do is press the power button on the side. So this feels almost like a watch, actually, a watch piece, when you push it on the side like that. Alright, so push it on the side, it pops open. Doesn't exactly do what it says on the manual, which is that it would it's supposed to you know, pop up with something about connecting to a network. But to be fair, I also haven't plugged it into a computer either. I have just plugged it into a power source, so I don't know if it's different if I unplug it and turn it on. Now that I know it's fully charged, I can just turn it on. So let's do that instead and see what it does. So it's nice. It's a fully, almost entirely circular screen, apart from the bit at the bottom, which looks like it might be a button, might not be. I'm not really sure. It's kind of a cool startup sequence going on here. And that's where the logo comes from. They're supposed to be lights. That makes more sense now. So this appears to be touchscreen. I'm guessing it's touchscreen, and yeah, it is. I can scroll through here. So that's quite nice. This is an end user agreement that's going on here, so I'll read that later. And now we're into scanning for Wi-Fi. So that's cool. So I can go through. I can choose the Wi-Fi I want and the network I want, and from there I can go and set it up. And set up my device, and I'll probably do that, but I won't necessarily do it on this recording. It makes more sense for me to set it all up, spend a couple of weeks with it doing some recordings, and then do a proper review later. This is about as far as I wanted to take the unboxing. So this is it as it comes out. Comes out the packaging. Mine came almost fully charged, which is excellent. I always like it when devices do that and they don't make you wait, 3 hours or 6 hours before you can play with them, like they used to in the day. We used to get mobile phones that used to have to charge overnight before you could even play with them. So that's nice. So let's just have a quick review then of what's in the box. So we get this nice package box in 3 parts. Yeah, full marks I think for the presentation. The presentation's lovely. We get the USB-C cable with a USB-A adapter. We get a lanyard. We get the metal clip, put the lanyard in it. We get the little polishing cloth. We get a sticker, and get the instructions. And I think that's everything. So that is my unboxing and first look at the Ubiquiti FrontRow live streaming camera. Make sure to check back and keep an eye on my YouTube feed, because in about a month's time, I imagine I'll have played with it enough to be able to do a decent review. Or you can follow me on Twitter at Tom Morgan, which is TOMORGAN. Thanks very much for watching.